What's going on, guys? Today I just want to check the pulse of Caspa up against the rest of the market and take a quick look at the market as a whole. We're going to go over some technicals and some, developments in the Caspa ecosystem and kind of see where we sit, where we're at, and then kind of talk about long-term price predictions as well. So let's jump right on into it. So let's go over here to the charts real quick. We've got Caspa down 6.44% today at a price of 15.1 cents. Yesterday, one of the things I want to talk about today was yesterday, the market was down double digits and Caspa was holding up very well at about a 4 or 5% deficit from the previous 24 hours. So the relative strength of Caspa yesterday was excellent. Now today it's down another 5-6%, and the rest of the market, some of the rest of the market is up 2 to 4%. So maybe it's just evening itself out from yesterday. Nonetheless, it's still holding up well, relative to everything else in the market. So we're still trading in the 14 to 19 cent range. And like I've mentioned many times now, I still think that there's a possibility that we just trade sideways in that range for the rest of the summer. I expect the market in general to trade sideways for the rest of the summer. So we do have some bullish events coming up for Caspa that could change the trajectory of Caspa's price action. We could bust out of that at any moment. So it's not a for sure thing that we're going to trade sideways. It's just one of the options that I see playing out. That being said, before we jump into some of the technicals, I want to remind everybody to get their Casware wallet downloaded, set up, and funded so that they are ready to go when KRC20 goes live and they can hit the ground running. I have previous videos on how to set that up, and the link will also be down in the description for the official website so that you can download the browser extension and get yours set up. Also, make sure you get yourself a Tangem wallet if you don't already have one, especially for people who are new, because keeping your money on exchanges or in a hot wallet is pretty risky, as we saw over the last couple of years. They're prone to hacks, and centralized exchanges are prone to stealing your money in some occasions. It's best to have a wallet where you're keeping your funds, not your keys, not your crypto, as they always say, in your possession off of the interwebs, and safekeeping so that nobody can touch it, nobody can hack it, nobody can steal it. So link to Tangem is also down in the description. Use the promo code CATDADDY for 10% off of your purchase. I highly recommend, even if you only have one of these, I highly recommend having 2 or 3 so you can diversify your funds throughout a few wallets as well. That's what I do. So moving on, let's check out the Caspalytics here. What I really want to touch on is the Rust migration here. We are now 94.1% nodes being mined in Rust. We are very close to the finish line here, and I expect that to probably happen within the next month, where we take that final jump and every single node is mined in Rust. So we had a major spike here, and it's just kind of slowly drifting upwards. Very bullish for Caspa, very bullish for the project. The hash rate is also at an all-time high. And for those who don't understand hash rate, it is basically a measure of how many miners are in the network. And the more miners that are in the network, the more hash rate that's being used. Typically, the hash rate going up is a good sign because you're onboarding new miners, which again is diversifying the hash rate and makes the network more secure. So we're at an all-time high there. Also with the hash rate, when the hash rate goes up, the price always follows. It is very well known in the mining world, where I have dabbled in and come from for a few years now. Bitcoin and Ethereum, whenever the hash rate goes up and outpaces the price follows. It's not always immediate, but it will follow and it will catch up. The hash rate, that just means there's more participation in the network. And as you can see right here on the very end, the hash rate is jumping out in front of the Caspa price at this point in time. So that is a sign that the price will catch up at some point. Just Caspa in general, with all of these technicals sitting at all-time highs and the catalysts for the KRC20 tokens and the ecosystem on the horizon, what we would assume is coming in the next couple weeks this month, because I haven't heard anything otherwise, the amount of bullishness around this project is insane. And I can't imagine anybody sitting out on the sidelines and sitting here thinking that this is not a good investment going forward. There is just so much going on, and the future is extremely bright for this project. And I know all of you who follow me are diehard Caspa fans, or at least probably own some Caspa and believe in it to an extent. So we are very lucky to be in this situation, getting to buy Caspa at the prices we're getting to buy it at, and we're gonna look back on this in a number of years and just think about how lucky we were and how great of an opportunity that we were sitting in, and probably looking back saying we should have bought more. If Caspa turns into anything close to what Bitcoin is, then buying now is literally like buying Bitcoin in its first couple years after inception, where the price was ranging probably in the $10 to $100 range. So you've got to kind of have that vision looking out ahead and having some sort of conviction in the project and holding on to some for the long term. So is probably going to benefit all of us. Now, moving out of the Caspa numbers here, I want everybody to look at this tweet from Ash Crypto. Now, this is about the market and Bitcoin as a whole. It's not necessarily about Caspa, but Caspa's in the market and, kind of fluctuates with the price of the rest of the market and Bitcoin for the most part now. Are you worried about this BTC dip? Read this. In 2016, BTC had a 30% plus correction post-halving. In 2020, BTC had a 20% plus correction post-halving. Right now, BTC is going through the same. Reasons: miners are selling due to increased cost of mining after halving. BTC price is factoring in rate cut delays. On the other hand, MicroStrategy will soon buy 5 million worth of BTC. Billions of dollars worth of BTC are being withdrawn from exchanges. The US presidential candidates are turning pro-crypto by taking donations. The world's biggest banks are becoming increasingly bullish. So just keep that in mind for, I know some OGs here who have been through a bear market before. Understand that this is completely normal. There's a lot of people calling for the top of the bull run already, and I can tell you with almost complete certainty that's not the fact. There is going to be more upside, and it's just a matter of time. Now, the last thing hitting on this, on the back end of it, is this Bitcoin chart here. I want to show you, this was the summer of 2023. Now, I'm only going to show you the summer of 2023 and then the summer that we're currently in, because I don't want to take too much time. But if you run this back for pretty much every single year summer, even in the heat of the bull run, there is usually some sideways action all summer long. So what it does is it weeds, weak hands out of the market. And I don't know if it's just because it's summertime and people want to go out and, enjoy the beach, enjoy the outdoors. They're tired of paying attention to crypto because they've been doing it all winter long, all spring long. And we've seen some upside, and then it just goes sideways, slightly down, a little bit up back to the top of the range, slowly drains back down, slowly back up to the top of the range, and then we finally break out typically at the end of the summer. So if you look at this sideways action, we sat between 24.8 and 31.4 for literally the whole entire summer in 2023. Now, if we fast forward over to and this is the weekly chart, so these are all weekly candles. If we fast forward over to the summer that we're currently in, you can see that we're already kind of starting a sideways pattern. And what I think is going to happen for the remainder of the summer is we are going to trend slowly up to the top of the trend line here, and everybody's going to think that is when we're going to break out, and then we're going to slowly bleed back down to the bottom of the trend line, back up to the top. Everybody thinks we're going to break out, slowly back down to the bottom, back up to the top, and then eventually come the end of August or September, October-ish, we will actually break out of that channel, and we will go to the next leg up and, you know, push the limits, probably in new all-time highs at that point, because we are going to really start the bull run at the end of this summer, I believe. Summers tend to just be lackluster and boring and sideways. You will have narratives like, for instance, the meme coin narrative, where you can trade and you can make money, because everybody needs to gamble. Everybody has this gambling mentality, and they need their fix on the next thing. Retail's not back into the market yet, so everybody that's in the market is basically just funneling towards the one narrative, which is meme coins right now, and making some money along the way. When retail really comes back to the market, we are going to see a huge candle from Bitcoin. And then we are going to see the Bitcoin dominance skyrocket and top out. And then the altcoin season right after that, where Bitcoin dominance will start trending downwards, and the altcoins, the money from Bitcoin, will start flooding into altcoins because they want to make higher gains in the altcoins, and the altcoins just go parabolic. And that is the time that we have all been waiting for, and it's coming. So let's jump into price predictions real quick. My baseline here for Caspa's price prediction at the top of the bull market in what I think is going to be 2025 is, I think the best comparison, in my opinion, is comparing it to Cardano last cycle. And Cardano hit almost $100 billion in market cap. And I think that that's a very fair target for Caspa, because obviously Caspa is better, and it will have inscriptions and a KRC20 token standard, whereas Cardano didn't have anything. It just had a promise of, we're going to have smart contracts in the future. And Cardano had a very strong community. I think that that community might be wearing down at this point, because I think, you know, it's a ghost chain, basically. It's kind of the redheaded stepchild of the L1s, for lack of a better term. I just don't see it going anywhere. I'm not even sure it's going to reach its previous all-time high this cycle. Maybe it will. But nonetheless, Caspa has so much more going for it, and it's just an all-around better project, and it is going to have an ecosystem on top of it, whereas Cardano didn't. So when I look at that, I can't help but think that this is the perfect, you know, project to compare it to, because Caspa has a very strong community around it as well. I'd argue a lot stronger than Cardano's. So if that's the case, keep in mind too, at the top of this market, there's going to be a lot more money in the crypto market as a whole than there was last cycle. So last cycle we topped out at about 3 trillion roughly, and I believe this cycle that we're going to top out at, you know, anywhere from 8 to 10 trillion is my estimate. So the amount of money that's going to be in the market as a whole is going to be a lot higher. Therefore, the top projects are going to be a lot higher in market cap. So this could, you know, very well be a bearish prediction for Caspa. That being said, what I don't want to do is get everybody's hopes up. There's people out there that are saying $20 to $30, $10 to $20 Caspa this cycle. And I don't want to burst anybody's bubble, but I don't think that that's going to happen unless all the stars align and things just get absolutely crazy and we have what everybody considers or expects might be a super cycle. I still don't think that that's possible. I think a $3 to $5 Caspa at the top of this cycle is a sweet spot, and it's better to be a little more reserved on the price prediction. And if it goes higher than that, then you'll be happy, right? If you're expecting a $20 Caspa come 2025 and we top out at $2 or $3, then you're going to be very disappointed. So it's all about tailoring expectations in that regard. So that is my price prediction. If we're projecting out to like 2030, then, you know, that $20 Caspa could seem bearish at that point. We've got to see how the bear market, you know, plays out, and then, you know, we'll have a better idea of what price targets we may hit the next cycle. But Caspa in the future, I believe, can easily hit $20. I just don't think it's going to happen this cycle. So basically all I wanted to go over today. I kind of wanted to just give a short, sweet, you know, kind of heartbeat of the market as a whole, and a heartbeat of where Caspa is. And just to reiterate, Caspa is sitting in literally one of the best spots you could possibly be in going into a bull market. Everything about the project is bullish as hell and solid as hell, and price action's good, all-time chart looks amazing, and all of the catalysts that we have coming up with KRC20 tokens and hash rate continuously hitting all-time highs, and the Rust migration is 94% done. We only have 6% left to go before everything is just ready. And we are going to hit the ground running, and we are going to, I think, melt faces and have a lot of people jealous and saying, damn, I wish I would have been in Caspa before all of this happened. So also, if anybody watched the BitBoy fight today, I would love to hear your reaction to that fight down in the comment section. I watched the whole fight. It was just a bunch of swing and misses, a couple connections here and there, and BitBoy almost died of exhaustion, and somehow he won that fight. I don't know how. It should have been a draw in my opinion. If you haven't watched it, it's not terribly exciting, but it's not very long either, so it was kind of entertaining, I guess. Let me know what you thought about it down in the comments, and I was kind of hoping for a knockout of BitBoy, so it would kind of level his head out right a little bit, but that didn't happen. So pack your damn bags before it's too late, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.